In this video, we're going to focus on orthographic projection. So we have two types of orthographic projection. We have the first angle orthographic projection and we have the third angle orthographic projection. Okay, so the difference between these two types of orthographic projection, they're mainly in layouts, right? So now let's look at the layout of the first angle orthographic projection. So right here we have the top view, which is going to be below the front view, right? And on the right side, we're going to have the left view, and on the left view, on the left side, we're going to have the right view, right? And if we look at the third angle orthographic projection, and the top view right now is going to be on top of the front view, and on the left side we're going to have the left view, on the right side we're going to have the right view. But in some cases you may not told to use first angle orthographic projection in a sentence. They may show you this sign. So this is the symbol for first angle orthographic projection right here. You can see we have that cone and we have the circle right here. And since we're engineering drawing, each and every time we draw a circle, we should not forget the center line, right? And on the third angle projection, we're going to start with the circle and we're going to have that cone right there. And since our engineering drawing, put the center lines. Okay, so now we're going to look at first angle orthographic projection using an example, right? That's what I want to do. And I'm going to also look at third angle orthographic projection using an example. So right here we have our diagram, and this is what we call isometric projection, where the diagram is inclined at an angle of 30 degrees, right? So we have our top view. This is what we have, what we're going to see when we're looking on top, and this one is going to be our front view. But front view just depends with your diagram. So in my case, this one's going to be front view, but that doesn't mean that the direction of the front view can change, right? So it's going to be front view, and on the right view is going to be this, what we're going to see when you look on the left side, right? And right there is the back view, but in this case it is also the right view. Okay, so now what we're going to do, first of all, let's draw a line, right? A horizontal line. And right here, what are we going to see when I look on the front view? Okay, so if you take a closer look, this is what we're going to see, right? So I'm just going to bring it right here. Okay, so in drawing it in orthographic projection, we're going to draw it, we're going to see it as a flat, right? So it's going to be right there. So that's what we're going to see. So on the top line, I'm going to measure again. Both you're going to be given the measurements right here. I'm not going to measure again. We're just going to project those lines, right, downwards, each and every corner, right? It doesn't matter how many are them, just project them so that you won't measure again. Let's draw this line. So this is where we want our top view to start. So normally it's wise just to leave a line a distance of 20 millimeters, not more than 50, right? Okay, so on top view, what we're going to see, so we're going to see those two planes, right? And there's going to be a height here. As long as they're on top, that height is going to become 0. Okay, so these are the planes that we're going to see. Let's name that plane number 1 and plane number 2. So we're going to be guided with our front view. So we're going to start by drawing plane number 1, right? What is the orientation? Don't know the orientation. We're going to get that information from the front view. So let's look at the front view. You can see that plane number 1 is going to fit right there, and plane number 2 is going to fit right there. So as you can see, it's just simple, right? And now what we're going to do, take a set square, put them aside. And right here, we're going to look on the 45-degree set square. That's the square that I want to use. So now I'm going to go to the corner of the box, draw a line. And remember, this line should be faint. So in some cases, some people use canvas. But when you're using canvas, that means I'm not going to dimension those diagrams that are drawing. Because if you want to dimension using a canvas, it's not going to be neat, right? So that's why we prefer you to use a 45-degree set square. So that's what we're going to have. I'm going to go to this corner, and I'm going to project. And now it's time to project those lines upwards, right? Draw this one, going to go right there, and draw this one. Okay, now let's take our 45 degree to the other side and do the same. One, do the same again, and right here it's going to be 2, and I'm going to project them upwards, right? And now it's time to project those lines, right? As you can see, so first line, second line. Okay, that's what we have. So we're not going to measure the width of the right view or the left view and the height too, because we already have them, right? So now let's look what are we going to see. So we're going to start with the left view, right? So look at the planes that we're going to see, and right here the length is going to be equal to 0. What's going to be flat, we're going to see them as flat. So what about the orientation? We say we're going to be guided with the front view, right? So I'm going to start by just showing you what I want to draw. That is there, plane number 1, plane number 2. Let's draw. So you can see that one is going to be plane number 2, right? That's where it's going to go, and plane number 1 is going to go right here. And since we're in first angle orthographic projection, on the right side, draw the left side, right? Go to the right view. So on the back, right? As you can see, I'm just going to draw something. So you look what we have on the back. So this is the plane that we're going to highlight, right? So let's draw it right here. But we have a section right there. I'm going to highlight it so that you can see, right? You can see that section. We're not going to see it when you look at the right side, but it is there. So what do you do in engineering? That's what introduce what to call hidden detail. So now I'm going to put a hidden detail right there to show that there's a line right there, but we're not going to see it since it is going to be blocked by the profile on the right view, right? Okay, so now we have everything that we need. I'm going to show you the final look, which is right here. So this is what we have. So this is orthographic projection. You can see it's now is. So on third angle orthographic projection, we're going to look at this example, right? It's not difficult. It's not difficult, right? Just going to apply some more reasoning. I'm going to show you how to draw or how to indicate there's a halo, how to indicate that there's a cylinder, right? That's what I'm. Okay, so I'm just going to draw it aside right there, but this one doesn't give measurements, right? So you have two diagrams. You can see this one, you can see this one. Okay, so the direction of the front view, you can see it, and the direction of the right view, we're not going to be a problem. Right side is going to be so the right view is going to be on the right side, and the left view is going to be on the left side of the front view, right? On the top view, it's always on top. So let's draw this line. So what is this thing to draw here? Is it the plan? Is it the front view? So it doesn't matter. It just depends on the people. So you can just start by drawing plan or the front view. You're not going to start by drawing end views, right? If you draw the end views, you're not going to get a clue, and that is difficult, right? Okay. So now, in this case, I'm thinking of front view. Front view is. So this is what we're going to see when you look at the front view. But we have some things that we're going to see. We have some hidden details right there. So I don't want to make this difficult, right? So I'm going to start by drawing what I'm seeing, right? So from our measurements, what we see, this circle right here, it has a radius of, if you look at the measurements here, it has a radius of 30, and the inner circle, which is right here, it has a radius of 15, right? That's what we have. So that's what we're going to do. So let's do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to draw this first. That's what we're going to draw. Okay, so this circle, which has a radius of 15, right? Because the diameter is 30, right? And we're going to draw a center line. Now taking that center, we're going to open your canvas at a radius of 50 or at a radius of 30, right? And if you do that, we're going to draw a circle like this one, right? This is the circle that I want to do. So I can just draw a full circle, and that circle is going to be a construction. And now you're going to take a ruler, right? And you're going to measure a distance of 70 from here to here. And after measuring a distance of 70, what you're going to do, you're going to draw a line right here and connect that circle, right? And you're going to draw a line. And this line is the height. What is the height of this line? So from here to here, it's going to be 180. Okay, now going to draw, and this distance is going to be 10. It's going to be 25, right? As you can see, which is right here, that is going to be 25, right? And I'm going to draw a vertical line, and finally we're going to join these two, right? That's what we have. So now we've copied the side of the front view, but we have some hidden details right there, something that we're not going to see, right? As you can see, we're not going to see that line, right? And that line is right here, as you can see, right here. And what is the distance of this line from here to here? I'm going to come here, and I'm going to measure 20, right? From here to here, I'm going to see that measurement from here. And after doing that, I'm going to draw this line. But this line is hidden. Why? Because I'm not going to see it. Look, we have those two circles. It's going to be a halo, right? Yes, you are told that one has a diameter of 20, and it's a center bore, right? It's at the center. And that one is a diameter of 50, and it's deep, bro. So the distance from here to here, that one is going to be 10. So you have to show them. We're going to draw this line, and we're going to measure a distance of 50, since that is the diameter, right? So we're going to come here and measure 50 right here. And after measuring 50, that was we're going to draw some hidden details. We're not going to see it, right? But since it is a halo, you have to indicate it. You have to indicate it using some center lines, right? Okay, so now we have a center bore. So as you can see, this one is going to go through, right? Right there. So we're going to measure a distance of 10, right? From here to here, after measuring a distance of 10. And that one is a diameter of 20, right? So we're going to measure 10 from here to here. And also at the center of this line, right? As you can see, we said right here, it's 50, right? That's what we said. So it's 25 at the center of this line, right? Right here at the center. We're going to draw that circle, and that circle is a diameter of 20, right? So I'm going to measure 10 on each side, right? So I'm going to measure 10 right here and draw this one, and 10 right here and draw this one. And the distance right there, we have said it's also 10. Okay, and this is the center line. So why are we drawing the center line? So this is an indication that to show something right there, it's a circular halo. But there's something that we didn't include, right? So if we look right here, we have that shape right here, as you can see, right? We have an extent of a shape right there. So we have to include it. So we're going to draw it. So from here, we see the distance from here to here, right? It's 10, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to measure it. We're going to measure a distance of 10. And we're going to join it right here, as you can see. And now finally joining those two lines together. And right here, we have our front view, right? That is our front view, which you can see right here. And now what we're going to do, we're going to project those lines upwards. Every line, every line, every line, every line, including those center lines. And now it's time to draw a plan, right? So from our plan, as you can see, this is what we have. I've indicated it in red. That means we're going to looking at the top view, right? Okay, so if plane number 1 and plane number 2. Okay, so how do we know the orientation? We said that to see the orientation from the front view. Okay, so what I'm going to start with, we're going to start with plane number 1, right? I think that is good, right? So this is going to be plane number 1. So plane number 1 is a length of 85, and right here again you also get it, right? From here it's 15, right here 55, and right here it's 15, and if we add them together, I'm going to get 85, right? And we're going to go right here, or relieve it from the front view right here. Okay, and now the distance from this point right to this point, we're going to get it right here. As you can see, we're told that it's 20, so I'm going to measure 20 from here, and I'm going to do the same right here. I'm going to measure 20. Okay, after that we're going to join those lines together. Okay, and now we're not going to draw some hidden detail first, so let's look at plane number 2. So plane number 2, we're not going to see that thing is going to be circular right there. We're going to look at it as flat. That's what we're saying. We're going to see everything as flat, right? If we look on top, right? So the distance from here to here, we already have it from our front view, right? So we want to find the distance from this point, which is right here, right? That's 1 and 2. And you can see that the distance are given it right here, right? It's 15. So I'm going to measure 15 from here to here, 15 from here to here, 15. Okay, that's what I want to do on both sides. And after doing that, we're going to project them up to here. As you can see, they're going to end right here. So right there, that is exactly right here. Okay, and we're going to join them like this. So now it's time to look at what are hidden details. So on the top view, we have these two circles, right? Those two halos, this one and this one. We're not going to see them, but they are there, right? So from the plan, if you look right here, this is where we're going to get our details, right? You can see. So I'm just going to project some center lines right here, some hidden details right here, and draw center lines to indicate that there's a halo. So let's do that. Okay, if you do that, you can see, and now it's time to put those two center lines. So we've shown that there's a halo between right there. Okay, and now we have another halo, as you can see, this one, which is a center ball, right? And we're going to get the details. So now it's time to calculate. Okay, so let's do that. So from here to here, you can see it's going to be this. That is the distance that we're going to leave. So we're going to say 85 right here. Okay, so therefore we're going to have the half of 85, 42.5. And now, so you know the distance from here is going to be 42.5 from here to this center, right? So the distance from right here to where this line is going to touch a circle. So this one is going to be 25. So I'm going to say 42.25 minus 25, right? So I'm going to measure 17.5 from this end, right? From right here is 17.35, and also going to do the same right here. Okay, and that's what we're going to have. And we have a center ball. A center ball is a diameter of 10, right? So that means the distance from right here to the corner of the center ball is going to be 17.5, and I'm going to add 10 right here. So I'm going to measure 27.5, right? So now if you measure 27.5 from this end right here, 27.5, and also going to do the same 27.5, can draw center ball. But we have left a distance of 10 from this point to this point. Why? Because I told that this thing is 10 millimeter deep. Okay, so now Let's do that and join those two lines. As you can see, this is what we have. And now let's go to the side views. Take a 45 degrees set square, and you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to project each and every line, right? That's what I want to do. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so don't have horizontal lines right here. So let's draw horizontal lines. Going to project each and every corner right here. I'm going to project right here. I'm going to project right here. Okay, like this. And now what we're going to do, take a 45 degrees set square, like always. Okay, I'm also going to project the lines on the front view and make sure I project each and every line, right? And now take a 45 degrees set square. I'm going to repeat the same. Go to this line. I'm going to draw a line right here. Do the same again. Draw a line right here. Draw a line right there. Draw a line right there. And I'm going to do the same, right? For those corners. I'm going to do the same on the opposite side, right? Draw this one, draw this one, draw this one, draw this one. And now we have everything. Okay, and now I'm going to project those lines downwards. Okay, that's like what we did. Okay, so this one is two main construction lines, right? So if you love this channel, just check in the description. You're going to see the whole engineering drawing course. They have all videos, and those videos are for free, right? So this is what we have right here. And now what we're going to do, we're going to start by drawing the right view, right? Okay, so on the right view, you can see those are the planes that we have, right? But if we look right here, I'm going to see this one is flat, right? And also this one is flat, right? And we have some hidden details. So let's draw. First, we're going to draw. We're going to name our planes. So it's plane number 2, and that one is going to be plane number 1. Okay, so now that's what we're going to do. Now let's draw our lines. Draw this line, right, and right here. Okay, and we have the measurements from the front view. And draw that one. We have the measurements from the plan, right? And now I'm going to join. And now we have our box. Okay, and now it's time to add some more details. Okay, so right here we have this line. So as you can see, this one, this is what we have, right? So the measurements, you can see we have to take this line down to this one. Okay, so that's what we have, and we're going to do the same on the opposite side, right? And we have the measurement from this corner, right? This way we're going to get the measurement from this line. We're going to project it right here, and we're going to see it. And now we have some hidden details. As you can see, we have those 2 circles, but I'm not going to see it. We're getting the information from the plan right here to see that there's a halo, so that's why I'm indicating them like this. Okay, and together they are circles. Let's draw some center lines right here. Okay, and now what we're going to do, let's go. We have a circle, so this one is going to be visible. We're going to say this circle is going to be visible. You can see it if you look in this direction, right? So this is the direction that we're looking at, right? And this circle, I'm going to come right here. This is straight the center line right here from here, and right here is the center line of this circle. So it's going to be right here, and we're going to track it, and right here it's going to be where they're going to intersect, right? Okay, so the radius of that circle is going to be 25. And if a small circle, right, that you can see, and that one is a radius of 20, right? So I said you can draw a line right here. So I'm going to draw them, but I'm not going to see them because they are at the back of our diagram. Okay, as you can see, so I'm going to indicate them using some hidden details. They're going to run from top to down, right there. And now we're getting the measurements, right? So right here is going to be the corner. Come here, and I'm going to track it until come here, and come again here. It's going to be the corner, and I'm going to track it. What are we left with? So as you can see, our right view is done, right? We have included everything. And now we're going to go to the back view, right? So right here, first of all, we're going to see a box, right? As you can see, that's what we're going to see. So I'm not going to see this layer right here, but it is there. And we're going to indicate that using hidden detail, and we're getting the measurements from the plan right here. Okay? And what we're going to see now, these 2 lines, we're not going to see them. Okay, and this circle, the big one, I'm not going to see it, right? But it's going to be there, so I'm going to draw that circle. Take your compass, and this one is going to be the center line, right? You have the center line right here. I'm going to track it right here, and the center line right here. When what they're going to intersect is going to be your center line, okay? And it's going to be in hidden detail. Okay, but this small one, since it's a ball, it's going to be through. It's going to be through, so it's going to be seen on the inside, right? So that's why you're showing it in visible line, right? And now let's go this line, right? We have shown this line, say these lines were not visible, but when you look at the back right here, you can see that those lines are going to be visible right here. So I'm going to show them. Let's show the other one. Okay, and now what we're going to do, let's go. So these two lines are not going to be visible. This one, so the base, and this one are not going to be visible. They're going to be neat and detail. And I'm going to get the information right here. You come here, you can see this way the other one is going to go. You come here, you track them down. They're going to come here, and you can see right here. And let's draw the other one. So as you can see, but I'm also going to show that there's a circle which is hidden detail right here. So let's show it. You can see right there, and now know how to show. And now I'm going to draw a center line. Okay, so that's what we have. But on our circle, we don't have center line, so let's say it's some center lines right there. So this is going to be our information. And now let me remove all those construction lines generally necessary, and this one is going to be our final. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.